and we are wrestling with New Japan Summer Struggle in Jingu Stadium. It was last Saturday, and
Yes.
your first, your first,
Oh God.
your first match out. Master
Oh
Wato
God.
lost to Yoshinobu Kadamaru in 7 minutes and 31 seconds with a sunset flip. This definitely set the tone for the night, didn't it, Kaliko?
Yeah, it set the tone. If there was a show that encapsulated 2020, if there was a match that encapsulated 2020, you know who I'm talking about. It is it. It is it. But I don't even want to go anywhere else except for two matches.
And
Two matches. That's it. That whole show was just two matches.
I think I know which one you're talking about. The second match on the card, the KOPW 2020 Finals 4-way match. Yano Toro defeated Kazuchika Okada with a low blow and a
Okada.
roll-up
Yeah.
in 7 minutes and 1 second.
Bruh.
Jesus.
If that ain't 2020, I don't know what is. That is the most 2020 thing ever.
Like a 7-minute 4-way.
The first king of pro wrestling.
In only 7 minutes.
Oh God. Yes.
That's your problem with it,
bro. It's just champion. Like.
Not that, the greatest wrestler of this generation, Okada, got pinned in 7 minutes by a lesser wrestler than he did.
It's not just it's a lesser wrestler. It's Toro Yano.
Oh, yeah.
It's the DVD. It's the DVD salesman. That's who we lost to, bro. The DVD salesman.
So no heat on Yano for beating Sonata.
Yano is 2020 in itself. It's a couple people that's 2020 in themselves. Tai Chi is one of them. Yano is the other. Yano just pulled like the New Japan version of Chris Jericho beating like Austin and The Rock at the same night. Like,
don't Japanese fans consider Yano the spoiler?
No,
as
that's
they say.
Dick to go.
And he is the first king of pro wrestling champion.
This is correct.
Which tells me that thing don't mean a goddamn thing. Title don't mean shit.
I mean, if he starts coming out in like makeup and a wig and calls himself the queen of pro wrestling, then we have a problem.
It's that means that KOP that. But you know what? I was at first I was like hella pissed, and then I was like, you know what? This is right up his alley. Just he would be some dude that'll fuck around and beat the most beloved wrestler in New Japan. I mean, the third most beloved wrestler in New Japan.
Who's second?
The second one. Naito, I think.
Oh, then who's first? I thought Naito would be number one.
Hiromu Takahashi.
Okay, that's fair.
And the only reason because the cat's over. As long as he had Daryl, bro, you ain't no.
All right, fair enough. Scooter.
Twitter was trending because Bad Luck Ballet. That's another guy who went missing. Just because he tore him up. Think about that.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal back then.
Big deal.
Scooter. Toru Yano pinning Okada in 7 minutes. And essentially a match Okada pitched. Where does Okada go from here?
I would assume he would take the referee back to the bookers and try to get them to reverse the result. Because I would consider this Chris Jericho and Triple H from 2000, where Jericho beat Triple H on Raw for the title, and then Triple H just forced Earl Hebner to reverse the decision.
Reverse the match.
Quite honestly, Okada could probably have no damage done.
Yeah,
I mean, he'll be fine.
I mean, yeah, he'll be fine. You're right. He will be fine. But I think based on the final result, he should be back in that picture. So, but that's a whole other topic.
Minoru Suzuki defeated Shingo Takagi in 14 minutes and 56 seconds with a God-style pile driver. One of the better matches on the card, but I don't think you expect anything less than from Suzuki and Takagi, correct, Kaliko?
True. So that tells me that they're setting up. I'm thinking this is something long-term to Wrestle Kingdom for them too. I mean, Suzuki ain't really got nothing else to do, and Takagi, yeah, he ain't got shit to do. Have him lose the title, let him try to get it back, because, I mean, he went from being 2 belts to no belt, and now it's like, let him try to get back that title.
Yeah, it seems like it kind of went downhill for Takagi. Now we have...
I know, he's such a hot...
I think they're going to build him back up. I mean, a win against Suzuki is going to make him.
Yeah, and I think if that's where they're going, we're thinking Wrestle Kingdom, never open, him getting the belt back.
Right.
Because it's right around the corner. We're in September, so it's not that far.
I mean, G1 is a couple weeks away.
Exactly. So that's even more incentive to try to get them probably in the same group, which is going to be interesting how they do the G1 this year, considering usually now is when the G1 is popping off. But...
And I know, Scooter, you were adamant about being in the G1 last year. Obviously, due to flight restrictions, you would not be able to make it. How disappointed are you?
Don't worry, there's always next year.
Alright, keep your head up, man. Next match, fourth match on the card, Hiromu Takahashi lost to Taiji Ishimori in 13 minutes and 30 seconds with a bone lock. What confused me about this match was Takahashi didn't tap to Okada, but he tapped to Ishimori. What say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I guess that's to give credibility to Ishimori. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a big deal if you get someone to tap. Either that or just maybe just getting caught on this one night.
It's only a travesty.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
The payoff amount is for it.
Probably the shocker of the night, even though, Yano beat Okada, Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi lost to Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi in 16 minutes and 1 second with a Zack Mephisto. What are they doing with Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kaliko?
The same thing that they're kind of doing with the Gata. I mean, to be quite honest, there's nothing else for the Ace to do. I mean, he's done it all. So if he wants to wrestle, he could still wrestle, but he's not going to be in those, high exhibition matches like he used to be. And if he's okay with that, that's fine. I mean, they don't never. The one thing I will say about New Japan that they listen and they allow the wrestler in this case, because I'm assuming Tanahashi, he's been the man for 10 years. Let him dictate his terms. If he wants to wrestle more, but in a division where it makes sense, and they kind of turned a rivalry into a tag team with, with our guy. I mean, go ahead. So, I mean, I'm happy for it.
Scooter, do you think Tanahashi, his time is up? It's maybe time to take a back seat, or do you think he might have maybe one last push in him?
I think one last push for Tanahashi. Yeah. No no mixed words here. It's simple. Just one push. One less push left.
All right, maybe we'll see that in the G1 this year. And that brings us to the sixth match in your main event. Tetsuya Naito defeated Evil in 26 minutes and 20 seconds with a Destino. Naito becomes the second third person to hold both IWGP and Intercontinental Championship at the same time.
And the first to do it 2 times. All is right in the world, baby. All is right. Damn it. On the night where Yano and Taichi been smoking fools, at least they got that right.
It seems like at the end of the day, New Japan does kind of get it right. This was a bittersweet moment to see, Naito under the fireworks. You know what I mean?
It was, I mean, but that just shows you that loss to Evil solidified the fact that New Japan is unpredictable in the sense that just because they're the champ, that doesn't mean that they're going to get a long run with it, and they could get caught any night. If you get caught on the run, and especially in Naito's case, seeing how he was on top of the world and his loss came from somebody who was in his crew. So, and you could see the emotional toll it took on him. And then, Takahashi tried to fight in his honor. But at the end of the day, it was Naito's battle to fight and win. And I think that was, to me, the bigger story. Plus, the way that they were promoting the show, it felt like a Naito show. It was just like it was going to be the Naito show because he's on the big stadium. They had his pictures. They had him pictures on the baseball mound all over the place. Then they had that beautiful picture of him underneath the fireworks screensaver right here. But yeah, it just basically he's the guy. He's the most popular guy, one of the most popular guys. Now, not to confuse popular with beloved, because Takahashi's beloved based on his story of coming back from the neck injury and so on and so forth.
Scooter, Naito kind of alluded to that, maybe the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championship should be defended separately rather than together. Do you think that they should just unify the belts, or do you think that he needs to defend them both at the same time, or do you think that one or the other is the better solution here?
It's a very odd situation. I mean, you have to figure out what is New Japan's opinion of having an Intercontinental Championship. At this point, why have it if it's now going to be part of whoever is holding the heavyweight championship? It makes the belt in and of itself redundant.
Right.
And they might as well just actually unify, like, the belts, and you can make it like, I don't want to call it like the IWGP, like global, like, I don't know what to, just get rid of the Intercontinental title at this point. I mean, no one's really gonna. I don't think anybody would really miss it, considering when you think of an Intercontinental Championship, I mean, how many casual wrestling fans can actually tell you that the IWGP Intercontinental Championship actually exists?
Huh.
There have been times where I've tried to actually talk about the IWGP Intercontinental Championship to other people, and they go, "Wait, do you mean the WWE Intercontinental Championship?"
It's kind of like Kaliko trying to have a conversation about Darby Allin in the supermarket.
Yes. But my only thing I would say about that, him saying that, because the only drawback with that is if I'm fighting you for the Intercontinental title and you have the heavyweight title and I beat you, why the hell would I want the second title? If I could beat you for that title, I might as well beat you for the other one. So that's where it would have to be him relinquishing it, or giving it up, or if they get rid of it. The only reason I would say that they wouldn't get rid of it, because that belt is synonymous with Nakamura.
Right.
And that's the only reason I say that they wouldn't get rid of it, because his legacy in New Japan pretty much revolves. I mean, yeah, he's won the heavyweight title and he's on the list, but you could make the argument that him main eventing Wrestle Kingdom with the Intercontinental Championship says a lot. You know what I mean? And that's where I see Scooter's point, but for legacy reasons and traditionist reasons, and we all know New Japan is more of a traditional, old school, in terms of their legacy and tradition. So I that's why I don't see them getting rid of it. I just see him relinquishing it, having a tournament. Maybe Takagi gets it. Maybe this is a chance for Hiromu to move out of the junior heavyweights. So that's the only reason I would keep it, to keep those guys who've outgrown their divisions to do something.
What great points. Everybody is kind of in full swing with shows with live crowds. WWE's gone the digital route with the Thunderdome. It seems like AEW has a crowd, but doesn't seem like they're using as much precaution as they should. And then you have New Japan, who seems like they're using the precaution method. And you're not allowed to cheer, but they do have an app that you press that says yay or boo or 1, 2, 3. Scooter, these are 3 very unique concepts. Which one do you kind of like the most?
Well, I mean, AEW just has the app with yay, boo, or 1, 2, 3. Literally, that's it.
It was in Japanese, and it said 1, 2, 3, and the rest of it was in Japanese.
It's New Japan. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if within the country itself there's something going on that we don't know about. And, it's super fun and and it's like small and portable and efficient. like everything else that comes out of Japan. Something that like dispenses like mochi or I don't know. But that just seems like that's that's the worst of the three, quite honestly. AEW, AEW. What does AEW have besides its own people in the stand?
They just have the bleachers, but it kind of seems like they don't maybe encourage their fans to
Now AEW had an idea that um, they never ran with, and they probably could have built something around that, and that they were having wrestlers backstage bet on on the matches. Why not establish some sort of points system for the fans where they can do the same, and you can have a league
oh,
and offer prizes for the fan interaction.
that
Um,
is an interesting concept.
Get some merchandise out of there. You could even do like a VIP league where you know, for a special where people actually pay. Because there will be people that'll pay $10 to enter an exclusive contest that there is a greater chance of them winning as opposed to a free contest. In fact, maybe I'll send a letter to Tony Khan by a certified mail for this. But I mean, WWE right now, hands down, they have the best technology. I mean, there's gotta be ways for them to improve it. I mean, being on the Thunderdome, I accidentally pulled up my cigar out of habit, and immediately I heard somebody, one of the moderators, get on. There is no vaping or smoking allowed. We see it. We will ban you. So they are paying attention to people. And, of course, I kept trying to say to people, I kept like, can I speak to Vince? I actually heard Vince. Uh, because whoever was giving the instructions was really close to him. I do have to say I'm not fond of the guy coaching us when something suddenly happens, and I'm gonna bring this up again. On SmackDown, Bayley finally cut the dead weight of Sasha Banks. And when Bayley, her that initial, turn, the guy comes on, the headset and goes, "Oh my God, guys, let's see your shock reaction. These guys were best friends." I'm like, dude, like, kayfabe is a very thin line now. Like, you don't really have to tell us to put on our shock faces, because immediately I did the opposite. I was like, "Yeah, Bayley, you needed to do that." Um, everything's in its infancy, and the technology will grow. I'm I'm more worried at this point about what happens when everything is when we're allowed to go back to arenas.
Right.
What happens? What happens to it? Like, does that? I The only thing I can see is that it becomes like NXT exclusive at that point. Like they pick up a great, it's a great concept developed in the time of need. But what about when it's not needed anymore? That's that's the main problem with anything. Like,
oh, absolutely. So you're one for WWE Thunderdome.
yeah, I gotta give it to Thunderdome here. Yeah.
What about you, Kaliko? Did we lose Kaliko?
He is muted.
No, you did not. Muted myself because my son be yelling, damn it. Anyways, it's weird. It's weird how all three companies are doing it, but let's keep in fact that one country has their shit under control and the other two don't. Or the other country with us being us don't. AEW, I felt like that they had no choice but to get back into the fans game. And the reason I was saying this, because it's funny, I was saying this to somebody else, and they were like, well, they got all this money from the football play, from the cons, and And I'm like, nah, bruh. They only got like 400 mil. And then think about it. Your first year as a company, you're already running in the red because of the fact that you have to do the advertising and paying salaries, because they were paying salaries for at least 6 to 8 months before they even had a TV show. So they were already in the red before they even got on TV. So to me, I kind of figured it would be an evolution to this because of the simple fact that the only thing that they really have to sustain it, other than the TNT deal, is the fan base. Because, I mean, they don't really have anybody that stands out as this household name that wasn't known by WWE. The Thunderdome, as much as I agree with Scooter about how they coach, and that is something dumb because Randy Orton came out against Keith Lee when I was in the dome. They were like, "Tell us how you feel about Randy Orton," and I'm like, "I actually like him." Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what the fuck you talking about? He don't owe me money. He's cool with me. So, but as much as I agree with some points, I feel like that's going to be something that's going to be here forever because it's pulling in people from around the world. And if they're still touring, they can still get the gate money. But I feel like that they're going to have I feel like if they take that section, like, sometimes they don't sell out. So if they take that Tarper section and make it into monitors, I mean, that might be a cost, but if they take that section and make it into monitors and allow fans to actually watch it from that view, I feel like that would be something that could make not a big difference, but combining what the mother of necessity with today. Because I feel like that it's here and it's going to be here for a hot minute. I feel like that Thunderdome is going to be here even after the fact.
So that's so which one?
But yes, the Thunderdome's hella better because they got as much as people shit on WWE, they got the money, and that's what it is. They got the money, they got the infrastructure to set that up. They have infrastructure, producing, technology in spades on top of AEW. AEW still kind of running the first year, and they're running it like no different than how NWA ran it, except NWA did it in a smaller venue and didn't have $400 million back then.
Thunderdome dose votes.
Fair enough. Alright, and that will conclude our coverage of New Japan Summer Struggle in Jingu Stadium. Next week we will be covering all things All Out. Have to remember these names. All Out is actually today. It's in a couple hours, so don't really see a point in making a preview now. Just quick thoughts on what do you expect from All Out, Scooter, if anything.
I expect a very sticky floor.
Okay.
With all that mimosa. Yeah, and orange juice.
Yep, it's gonna be better than WrestleMania.
I mean, and the I mean, I'll admit the tooth and nail match kind of has me interested.
Which?
The Britt Baker and Big Swole tooth and nail match, they're calling it.
That's not even on the actual show.
From my list, it is. Private Party against the Dark Order is listed as on the pre-show on my list.
I saw the buy-in was Britt Baker and Swole.
Yeah, front. I am looking at Wikipedia, and they said it's on the show, but you never know. Mimosa Mayhem. It's like Jesus. A long time ago, when I was like 9 or like 10, I thought of a match actually taking place on a boat, and the winner was the person who could throw his opponent into the ocean.
Which is a great concept.
But you'd have like henchmen like competing for you and whatnot and everything.
A pirate panic match.
Something like that, like Bruise Cruise. Jericho and Cassidy. Cassidy's gonna get freaking. In fact, you know what? I expect Orange Cassidy to just dive right into the mimosa. In fact, I'm calling it now. He'll just dive right into it and just drink.
With AEW, nothing is off the table. What about you, Kaliko?
Honestly, the only match I'm really, really, really looking forward to is Sheeta versus Thunder Rosa, because to me, that signals something going on with NWA and AEW. As some kind of a partnership or something. I don't know what it's going to be, but I hope that they use the two biggest stars that they have in NWA, Thunder Rosa and Sienna, aka Allison Kay, to bolster that dead ass division. Just DED dead.
So NWAEW?
Yes, NWAEW. That's what I'm talking about. That would be the one. That's the one.
Well, we're not going to beat that. That's where we will end the show tonight. If you like us, please subscribe, comment on YouTube and Castbox. And if you want to join in the conversation, we are always available on Twitter. You can find me at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko Yachts?
I am Kaliko. And to prove my point last week, I went back and looked up every match Adam Cole had in November, and it's still fucking better the goddamn Mox's whole year. And I will post that fucking screenshot tonight.
All right, you You're on a mission here now. And what can they find?
I'm here to right a wrong. I'm here to right a wrong, James. Here to right a wrong.
If you don't, who will? And where can they find Scooter Dust?
You can find me, of course, at Scooter Dust on Twitter and at UNBS Wrestling. And just to know, 9/28/20, September 28th, 2020. Hopefully, if I've got everything set up correctly, that's when the remix returns full time.
That is awesome, and we hope that it happens in full swing and at full power.
Thank you.
For Coleco Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, and Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.